Hey, Rick, how much does Missouri change when Tillman goes out of the game so early?
Well, one thing, they came out, they punched us early. There's no doubt, and it was good for our team. I mean, I've got so much respect for Coach Martin and his program and the way he coaches basketball. And we told our guys, hey, they're going to come out, they're going to play hard, they're going to get after you. They've been off for 10 days, and our guys, we know, and after 10 days you're wanting to play. And then that again, it hurts obviously because a lot of what you do with your game plan, we know they really work to establish him, and I don't think there's any question it hurt them. And but with our team, you think about it in the first half, Grant Williams and Admiral Scofield were really non-factors. And it was the other guys that came into the game. Kyle Alexander, last 2 games have been phenomenal. When you go back, he's got 2 double-doubles with 14, and tonight he had 17 rebounds, and Derek Walker and John Fulkerson were really good doing their jobs at that stretch when we were able to get the game a little bit back under control from our end and stretch it out. And Monte Turner's still working his way back in it, but we've still got to get better. There's no question about that. But I think tonight that, again, I'm proud of the guys when Grant and Admiral were on the bench there at the end of the half to play the way they played.
Rick, are you finding more out about that depth you expected to have beyond Grant, Jordan, and Admiral in the past few games?
Yeah, I do. I go back to our, Lamonte being hurt. It's tough on us, but yet it gave other guys a chance to get some of that. And the last 2 games in particular, I think that John and Derek and Kyle have really locked into doing their jobs. I just think they're playing defense, terrific defense. Derek broke one loose there. We got out in the open court and scored. And Jordan Bowden just did a workman's-like night, and Lamonte's still working his way back in. He's not there yet, and we weren't great at the end. We didn't handle. We had the lead, but we didn't close it out the way an older team should. But give them credit, and but I do think our early season schedule and the fact that we're able to play some guys some serious minutes when it counted is helping us.
What's Kyle done differently the past 2 games? How's he been so successful?
I think he's totally focused on playing defense and rebounding and nothing else. And I think that he's scoring just out of. It's really amazing. That's what we tell our guys: don't get locked in on scoring. Just go play, get lost in the game with your defense and rebounding. And he's done that 2 games in a row, and you see he scored. But he's not out there looking like tonight. A couple times you could tell he had the itch. He wanted to shoot the 3, but he didn't. And he can. He works on that shot. But the fact is, you got to give him credit for just, I think, his approach. I mean, that's what's on his mind right now. He's trying to go get every rebound he can. And he actually really probably made the player of the game when remember he went and got an offensive rebound, stumbled with it for a minute, but he found Admiral underneath the basket on that dunk. That was a big play at that time. And but his second efforts were really key tonight.
Rick, how many of those offensive, those rebounds that Kyle's getting are ones that just physically he wouldn't have been able to get a couple years ago? It looks like he's
all of them, and the fact is he's going to get some that aren't his the last 2 games. That's one of the differences. Go back to that question earlier about what's he doing differently. He's starting to get some that he didn't even try to go get. He's trying to go get some now, and he's making the extra effort to use his length and tip the ball to himself and go get it. And but that's what he's doing. It's just you got to give him all the credit for making that effort.
You mentioned that Mizzou kind of came out and punched you guys in the mouth. What changed in that 24-4 run that you had late in the first half?
Well, again, I think you can go back to Tillman's fouls too. That changes, I'm sure, what they wanted with our team. And you know what they did? They did as good a job as any team that we played. They were determined we weren't going to get anything inside early, and our first couple possessions we weren't very good. But again, I think that is because of them and their intensity. And we, during the first time out, we told our guys, hey, we told you they were going to come out and get after it. And then I think we settled in a little bit, and we defensively we got a little bit better. We're getting beat off the drive a lot early, and they really run good stuff on offense. Their offensive schemes are really, really good, and they can put you in some really tough situations, some tag situations, and ball screen situations, and the way they do a number of different things, it really, you almost can't run one coverage against them. because if you run the coverage that we would like to run, they're going to take full advantage of it. They did a couple times, and we were confused a couple times because we did more trying to play personnel, and they took advantage of that too because we weren't as sharp as we need to be. But when we were able to get some things going, we were able to think about knock some balls loose, get out in the open court, and get some transition baskets.
Rick, what have you liked about Jordan Bowden the last couple games and his offensive approach?
Again, I think he's not looking to, I think he's trying to do his job, and he didn't make a three tonight. And, if he's open, he shoots it fine, but we don't care. I mean, obviously we want to make shots, but there's going to be nights you can't. We want to be a team that can be effective when the ball's not going in, and I think defensively he's solid, and he's running the court. He's learning to get some baskets, so they're hard, but in some way they're the easier way to get them when you're not making shots.
One more right here.
Rick, you talked about Admiral and Grant both being non-factors in the first half. Was that something Missouri was doing defensively, or was that the way?
Well, I think you got to definitely give Missouri credit. I mean, if you were playing against, we game plan. You look at their roster, we look at what they do, and we know there's certain guys that we've really got to try to do a good job on. And there's no question when you look at us, you look at two guys that have been pretty consistent. We've got to take something away from them, make somebody else do some things, and so I think you've got to give Missouri all the credit for the way those guys played in the first half.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.